Well, greetings everybody once again. This article comes from the Freedom Articles. Get a Dose of the Truth. That came out today. There. Okay. Titled, The Zero Evidence World of U.S. Criminal Misleaders. Zero evidence is required for the global bully, the U.S. military, to do what it wants, when it wants, to whomever it wants. U.S. political and military leaders, or as I prefer to call them, political and military misleaders, have one law. We do what the F we want. In line with the black magic of Aleister Crowley, who declared that do what thou wilt was the whole of his law. The recent Trump Syria strike has taken their aggressive and criminal lawlessness to yet another level. Trump didn't even bother to ask Congress for permission to attack another country, nor to put a case forward at the UN, nor to submit it to the scrutiny of international law, nor apparently to check with anyone except his own cadre of hawkish generals, Zionists, and billionaires. Along with zero evidence, the U.S. usually proffers pretexts such as WMDs, chemical weapons, or simply just he's a dictator killing his own people, all of which turn out to be lies to cover up the fact that they have zero evidence. This phenomenon has been going on for literally decades. When is the international community going to stand up to the U.S. and demand that enough's enough? Enough's enough, man. I've had enough. Right? And do what they want. Destroy what they want. And they got no moral compass whatsoever. None. Okay? The zero evidence phenomenon in past U.S. aggressions. The history of USA aggression against other sovereign nations is egregious and long. Ever since the end of the World War II, the U.S. has taken it upon itself to be the world policeman. Except it's really the bandit posing as the sheriff, the tyrant posing as the protector, and the violent terrorist posing as the righteous commander. Former U.S. government official William Bloom, who worked in the Department of State, and Dr. Zoltan Grossman have compiled lists of 70-plus nations which the U.S. has messed with and attacked by way of at least one of the following: foreign meddling and intervention, subversion, regime change, assassination, military strike, or invasion. Here is a partial list of attacked nations up until 1999. China, 1945 to 49. Italy, 1947 to 48. Greece, 1947 to 49. Philippines, 1945 to 1953. South Korea, 1945 1953. Albania, 1949 to 1953. Germany, 1950s. Iran, 1953. Guatemala, 1953 to the 1990s. That is a long war. Oops, losing my camera. Sorry, guys. Okay, Middle East, 1956 to 58. Indonesia, 1957 to 58. British Guyana, 1953 to 64. Vietnam, we all remember that one, 1950 to 1973. Cambodia, 1955 to 73. The Congo Zaire, 1960 to 65. Brazil, 1961 to 64. Dominican Republic, 1963 to 66. Cuba, 1959 to present. Indonesia, 1965. Hold on. I didn't want to cough in your ears. Okay. Where was I? Brazil, 1961 to 65. Chile, 1964 to 67. Greece, 1964 to 1974. East Timor, 1975 to present. Nicaragua, 1978 to 89. Grenada, 1979 to 84. Libya, 1981 to 89. Panama, 1989. Iraq, 1990s. Afghanistan, it says 1979 to 1992. But I think that's still going on. Anyway, I don't remember them stopping. El Salvador, 1980, 1992. Haiti, 1987, 94. Yugoslavia, 1999. Since 2000, the following countries have been a victim of U.S. aggression in one form or another. Afghanistan, 2001 to present. Yemen, 2002. Philippines, 2002 to question mark. Colombia, 2003 to question mark. Iraq, 2003 to present. Liberia, 2003. Haiti, 2004 to 5. Pakistan, 2005 to question mark. Somalia, 2006 to question mark. Syria, 2008 to present. Yemen, 2009. Libya, 2011 to present. Okay, these lists are incomplete. There are more nations that have suffered U.S. aggression, which are not on these lists. Every single nation in the world has to either kowtow to the U.S., befriend it, and fight alongside it in its stupidity, ugly, and violent wars, and submit to allowing U.S. military bases on sovereign soil, or else be aligned against it, be branded a rogue state by the mainstream media, and live in constant fear that the U.S. and its cronies will one day invade, a realistic and even probable outcome. There doesn't seem to be much middle ground. How exactly is this not world conquest? How exactly is the U.S. not a sprawling empire which does whatever it wants, puts its military bases wherever it wants, and invades whomever it wants? It's an empire, not a republic. The republic has been dead for a long time now. Rest in peace. The U.S. is run by the New World Order, and they want it all. They want it all. Okay. Some particularly egregious examples of zero evidence. Some appalling and atrocious examples of this "we do whatever we want" U.S. foreign policy include the Vietnam War, which was started by the zero evidence Gulf of Tonkin incident, a false flag op, of course, where there was literally zero evidence because there was literally zero Vietnamese ships involved. The U.S. ships shot at empty space on the ocean and claimed they were being attacked. Oh gosh. Then, in the false flag event of the millennium, 9/11, there was zero evidence that bin Laden ever did it, as the FBI tacitly admitted by not charging him with any crime. In the aftermath of 9/11, we were blessed with the wonderful and fake War on Terror, dreamt up by the Zionist and neocon think tanks, including mass murderer and Israeli misleader Benjamin Netanyahu. With these masses bamboozled by the never-ending and impossible-to-win war on terror, U.S. misleader Colin Powell stepped up to the UN with zero evidence in the form of a vial of powder in support of invading a sovereign nation, Iraq. This time around, the lie was weapons of mass destruction. Nope, no weapons of mass destruction here. Nope, maybe over here. Nope, no weapons of mass destruction there either. Remember George Bush? Okay. So this time around, the lie was weapons of mass destruction. Later on in 2011, U.S. misleader Obama stepped up to claim that a dictator, i.e., a legitimate leader named Gaddafi, was killing his own people, despite the fact that Libyans had a higher standard of living than all its surrounding neighbor nations in Africa. Thanks to the U.S. and NATO invasion, Libya has become a hotbed of mayhem, terrorism, civil war, and even now, a center of slave trading. The truth is that it was only invaded because its leader stood up to the U.S. hegemony and tried to go against the petrodollar. But you wouldn't know it if you listened to MSM and the NGOs of George Soros, who screamed for humanitarian intervention, aggressive invasion with no lawful bias, under the pretext of saving innocent lives. Then in 2013, U.S. misleader Obama again stepped up to claim that another dictator, an elected leader named Assad, was killing his own people with chemical weapons, despite the fact that UN investigators found no evidence, zero evidence, to back up this claim, and instead found evidence that it was the US-backed rebels using them. Proof at a distance. Fast forward to 2017, and we have a different puppet in the White House, but the zero evidence phenomenon and US military psychopathy remain the same. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, who, like Vladimir Putin, has shown himself to be a very level-headed in face of extreme, and repeated U.S., UK, Israeli, NATO provocation. He talked about zero evidence phenomenon at recent press conference where he was discussing the Syria matter with the U.S. counterpart Rex Tillerson. U.S. Secretary of State Lavrov said, "Accusations that are being made in respect to the Syrian government come exclusively from those who have proof at a distance." Another example, another dictator, Saddam Hussein, who was hanged after an invasion. We all know how it ended. I think Tony Blair said publicly that the wild thing was a fake. The wild thing. Okay, all these reasons behind the invasions of Iraq. So experiments of these sorts based on an obsession with some kind of dictator, regime change, or totalitarian or authoritarian leader. We already have seen. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm having a real hard time with my words. Okay, we know all too well how it ends. I'm going to skip down here. Okay, one has to wonder how much longer the blatant warmongering and aggression can go on before enough people wake up. How much longer will the U.S. military, tool of the intentional international banksters and the New World Order, be able to literally get away with murder by offering zero evidence and flimsy pretexts? Will enough nations in the international community, as well as enough Americans themselves, stand up to the bullying American political and military leadership and force these assholes, tyrants, to look in the mirror so they can see for themselves, for these lying psychopaths that they are? I don't know. I think if they look in the mirror, their mirrors would crack. Anyway, so that's it. Zero evidence. And thank you for watching. Till next time, have a great day.